Hey guys, it is Sanjay and Rose live with Motivation Station. What is going on? Welcome. Hello, Rose. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I
Oh
am.
man,
I am doing good.
I feel like the cold winter is coming. I feel it already.
It just
How you
showed up. You
feel
know what I
about
mean?
that?
Like it was like
I
nice weather, and all of a
know.
sudden now it's cold. We had snow. We had snow in Jersey, like somewhere like
What?
northwest. Yeah, not around me, but like northwest area. Yeah, there was snow.
Wow, this is amazing. I'm trying to make sure that I can see it on the YouTube. I do
Yeah,
not.
no, I have it up on one of my
Yeah,
screens. Looks
yeah,
good so
I
far.
did. I already decorated the tree, put some decorations around. For
Mm.
some reason this year it came a little bit earlier. I feel like the stores are pushing, and for some reason I'm like, let me have it. Oh no. Let me mute myself here. Beautiful. So, and I'm like, I did it. Always loved decorating since I was little.
Mm. I don't know. I was just say
But
I like your shirt, by the way.
thank
Teamer,
you.
that's a fantastic
Yay.
shirt right there.
I wanted to. I hope you see 90, not 09, but just
Mm.
make it.
I got you. No, no, I see it. Cool.
Yeah. Plus, always love decorating. I'm sure some people do love decorating, and plus nowadays I can use my creativity.
Hmm.
Like every year, I try to make a different style of the decorations. I love that.
Mm.
And when I was 7, I think it came when I was little. Like I was writing music. Obviously, I don't remember what I was writing now. I feel like it was so old ago. And it's just like, and I publicly sang like twice when I was in school. I just wanted to share a little bit of my
Of course.
story. It just
That's
came to
why
me
this is
this
why we're
morning.
here,
I was
Rose.
like,
Yeah.
I need to share it with the world.
Do it.
And I almost won a competition in school, but I won a fourth place just because part of the competition was dance with a partner,
Mm.
and I was ready at the last minute because nobody wanted to be at the competition. I said I will. I don't know how that happened. I had no self-esteem back then to even say let me go in the public, right? And I had no fear, which is amazing. And I was like, oh my god, let me just. I was in that competition. I got my hair done, my makeup done for the first time. I looked so gorgeous, like ugly duck becoming a beautiful swan. So I was ugly duck in school, and in that competition, one of the classmates like, "Oh, let's dance. It's part of the competition." I said, "It's too late now. We should have done it before. Like now you want to do it? No,
Mm.
because I look so beautiful." So, and that's why they gave me the fourth place. They gave me a little vase. I still have it in my mom's china cabinet, sitting there with the diploma saying, "Oh,
There you go.
great, I did."
Yeah, that's what's up.
So I always loved performing and dancing, and then I was looking for a dancing. I always look for dancing clubs, right?
Hmm.
So I went to one of the teams, and for some reason they were always 6 months later they were boom out. I went to Latin dances, I went to show ballet dances, and never worked out. I was like, you know what? Maybe it's not happening. Then I gotta find a different way, right? So and then you gotta tell her that she needs to put like 3 dots and open an external drive. And then I was like, you know what? Find me something else. And I found the sewing club team, and we started sewing. And my teacher, she was in a theater. She was running a play, so she decided to create a competition. It's called Fashion Magic,
Hmm.
and it was a city. So everyone from every schools they wanted to participate in competition. They would, and I had a beautiful safari style outfit that I sewed myself. I had braids. I remember my sister made braids. So this is the first time when I performed for 800 people. I was modeling, and I actually won that year Miss Charm. I also
What?
have a diploma. I was like, oh my God, that
That's
was so
what's
amazing.
up.
And my modeling story started that way, and
Mm,
and then the second year we already were regional, not just for a city. It was for my whole republic. It's a lot of cities. It was
mhm.
a lot of people, and I guess I became cocky. I don't know what happened. My
Yeah,
outfit was double. Yeah.
no, that's just confident. I don't think that's cocky. I think that's confidence. That's
Eh,
fantastic.
yeah, and then it's like my outfit was so much better than the first one. It was like a double layered, very heavy jacket with a tablet. It looked like a French style. I was just modeling and take that off. And in the third year, it was so amazing that third year, and the club itself said, "We're gonna sponsor you. We're gonna get you a fabric. We didn't have to buy our own." And we were not. Um, I wasn't performing anymore, but we were opening because we created this competition.
Hmm.
So we were opening the competition. It was five girls and checker style fabric we had. Everyone has a different outfit. We were choreographed the song. The girl
Hmm.
was singing and we were dancing in our own outfits. And in that moment, I performed for 20,000 people in a
Look at
huge
that.
stadium.
That is
And like,
insane.
I was like, oh my
That
God.
is
And I
insane.
understood that performing, dancing, and all that is just so me. And I just want to get out there, and it was so amazing. Let me find who I am. I actually need some notes so I remember I'm staying on track. And it's like sharing these stories, it helps me heal. And that's why I love this podcast because we can share a story and share your story and show that passion. And it opens that like healing moment. I feel like this is the light. This is the healing light that we all need. Just sharing story. Just I didn't have any fear of being in public, and I love that energy. You give energy, but you receive that energy, like 20,000 people energy, right?
Hmm.
It's just so much. It's just the question was like, can I handle this?
Hmm.
And why handling it? Don't handle anything. Just accept it because it's a big all love. It's all love,
Right.
love from all that people, and I love this podcast so much. And I believe creating creating it's just creating and being out there and doing what you love. It's so amazing. I want to share a few of my creations. I love art. I have a few pieces. I have, if you can see the picture right here, right, it's beautiful. I also create this beautiful piece.
Oh.
It's a lips. It's a rainbow lips. We created one day. We had a beautiful painting, a Christmas with girls, and I decided crystallize it with Swarovski crystal. It's so much, like you can't even see how
Mm.
much crystals in here. And
Yeah.
somebody wanted to buy this for $5,000, and I said
What?
no because it's $1 million piece.
Of
That
course.
I'm like
No,
a
that's
Van
priceless.
Gogh.
That's
It's gonna
priceless.
go
That's
up in
you gotta
prices.
yeah, you gotta hang that up and when we do a MTV Cribs kind of episode, you gotta show it off. Like, look, this is my art.
Yes, and this is, if you can see, probably not yet. It's a sketch of a butterfly. It's beautiful. Also going to be crystallized.
Mm.
Um, and also, I wanted to share a few other things. Creating is amazing. I do a lot of things with my hands. I need, and I feel like it's a huge therapy. Creating, being in, just putting that art together and putting that vision together. It brings so much to people. I've made a lot of baskets with my own hands from scratch, and I did like over different type of baskets. And this one in particular, it's charged for health, love, and inner peace. Also made a smaller version. This is also charged. It's a bucket list. Just write down five of your dreams for the next year, put it in there, and keep rereading it, and it will magically appear in your life.
Cool.
And you know
Awesome.
what? You know what? All I want to say is bring back art in our lives.
Yeah,
Art is
absolutely.
everything. We cannot live without art.
I wholeheartedly agree. I feel like there was a time where art was like huge and it started falling back down, but I'm glad it's on the rise again. And I definitely appreciate those that are not just you know art by just craft, but just by like nature and by their personalities and their characteristics. Like people can be very creative, and we live in an age where like that creativity can take you anywhere. Like you like this is being able to connect to people is a lot easier. I think we talked about this in our last podcast, where it's like we can talk to people in London, we can talk to people in Japan, we can talk to people in Australia. Like there's nothing really
That is
stopping
amazing.
us. You know what I mean? There's nothing really stopping us. For us, it's just doing it. you know and I think that kind of leads on to our guest today, if I'm right.
Yes, we want to invite our beautiful, beautiful, motivated Saturday today, 11 a.m. We'll be having our beautiful dear Starla. She is real. She's a piece of art. She's made of art. She was born art. She's still art, and everything about her is just so inspirational, very motivational, and she is just art that we all need to see here. And I want her to share her story with the world
N-
today.
Yeah, no, I
Welcome, dear
I I I
Starla.
have 100% absolutely agree, and I had a brief moment to meet her yesterday, and she just gives off that energy. She's just like, here I am, world, and I'm actually very looking forward to talking to her on this podcast. So let's see if we can bring in Starla. So
Good.
Starla, I'm gonna go ahead and bring you in. Welcome, Starla. Welcome. Oh my God, you look fantastic. Look at this. You look
Look,
fantastic.
we matching.
Hi
She got red
guys.
with red.
I should have wore a red. Damn.
Yes,
I wish I
today
knew
is a
better.
bread day.
Oh, all right. Next time, I got you. Welcome to the podcast, Starla. Please introduce yourself and
Thank
tell
you
us about
for
yourself.
thank thank you guys for having me. My name is Starla. I am a artist, filmmaker, songwriter, entrepreneur, and a super advocate for the arts. So yes, that's what I do. I'm a full-time artist. I've been an artist for the past 15 maybe yeah the 15 years I've been an artist. Everything from photography to visual art, choreography, fashion, anything art. I love it. I do it like makes me thrive.
There you go. Um,
That is so incredible.
yeah, I mean, like, how did you feel like you, I guess, found this passion? Like, like, was there something that triggered? Like, Rose had her story of going on stage when she was younger. Was there something that like kind of got you into this world?
Okay, so let's start there. Okay, so art for me has been in my life since I was maybe 8 or 9 years old. My mom was in the military, and I remember her coming home from the military, being discharged, honorable discharge from the military, and her coming home with all these poems. And like, this was my first time being exposed to art, which was
Mm,
writing. So that was the easiest thing for me to do to express myself. And as you know, art is just a form of expression.
mhm,
So my mom came home from the military with all these poems and things like that. So, I was really super inspired by that. So I started writing. So that's where art started for me, just as a writer, as a poet. And then later on, I was always like a performing artist as well. I was like always like a really good dancer.
mm,
In my community, I would join like many of the community teams. We had like a junior sorority team that I used to be in. It was called Camden Sophisticated Sisters, where we would step and do dancing. And it was a visual art that I really fell in love with my dancing. And then on to just continue being like a visual artist. I joined theater in elementary school, middle school, high school. I was part of the drama club, also a cheerleader. And then one of the things that actually gave me one of the biggest inspirations for my art is actually when I was a teenager. I actually went through some mental health challenges.
mhm,
I actually suffered from depression, and while going through depression and getting help for my depression, I learned what a coping skill was.
right.
So art really helped me with my mental health challenges as a young girl and
Mhm,
getting through that. So yeah, I did that. I was going through some challenges with my parents at home, and my parents was looking for a lot of help for me. Just to figure out what was going on with me. The depression was really just coming from not being able to like explore the world and do all these colorful things that I was seeing going on in the world, and just being a child and not control of my own circumstances. So I
Yeah.
would see all these different things going on, and they were kind of art related, and I we didn't have the resources to do it. So it put me into a depression. My mom did her best. So she signed me up for a bunch of community programs that also led me into my path of art. I joined this one program called Camden Community Connections. And through that program, we did multiple art projects. But the one that kind of was the most significant, even to this day, is a mural project.
Mm,
So through this program, we did this mural project. And so I just remember one day, I'm thinking maybe I had to be about 15 years old, going into my after school art program, and um, our counselor saying, "Hey guys, look, we were going to start this project. We're going to start this big project, and we need you guys to take a picture." So I'm like, okay, like let's take a picture. Like she's like, I need you to do something fun, creative, something that expresses yourself. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, I can figure something out. And at that time, I was really working on building a relationship with God, and kind of getting my spirituality intact.
mm-hmm,
So I did this one expression, and I put my hands up to the sky like this, and my teacher took a picture of it. The
mm,
picture got chosen. So at the time, I didn't know what the picture was being chosen for, but
right.
it got chosen for a mural. So I
What?
have this big mural, like this 30-foot mural of me in my city from this art project that I did, which was
Nice.
probably like the most amazing thing that's happened to me in my life. That's like the beginning of my legacy, the beginning of my legacy piece. So I was about 14, 15 at the time, and here we are 20 years later. Um, that mural is still there, and then that just took me down a longer road of just art and using art as my outlet.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's awesome. That's it's like you were meant. It was meant to be, you know. And that like you said, it was just the beginning, you know. Like that was just
just the
like
beginning.
the rise of Starla, if you will, you know. But that's
Yes,
awesome. That is amazing.
yes,
As we can see, Star was born. Star was
yes,
Exactly.
born, and
absolutely.
the
I'm so
art
grateful for the
is
arts.
that's
Um,
amazing. That is definitely.
but I mean, I understand like where that like there's points even like I mean I can relate in a sense where like there's things that triggered like I felt like the things that had to trigger us had to happen for us to kind of come out of our ashes, you know what I mean, kind of like a phoenix. um
Absolutely.
and you know I mean same, you know, I was younger, I was going through some hard times, but and it was a challenge, so I understand where you're coming from, and I'm proud of where you are now and where you're going
Thank you.
apparently. um
Thank you.
but yeah, no, that's a very it's tough. It is 100% tough, and I'm happy you came out up top, because there's I know there's people who can't, and you know, and I would like to share that those people who aren't able to or are having a hard time, there's help out there. You know, there's help anywhere, and you just have to reach out. And there's always people like me, Rose, Starla. We're all here for you. You know what I mean? Um,
Absolutely.
but like no, that's it's a heartfelt story. I'm already tearing up from that because I can
Yeah,
relate from like my
yeah.
past life, so it's kind of yeah.
And that I
Yeah.
also, yes, and I also believe art is a huge therapy, is a
Yes.
healer,
Yes, it is.
and it definitely heals us, and it healed me in many phases in my life. Art and the creation and my hobbies. I had my even T-shirt collection with Laura and stuff like that. It's just something creative, something about that brings out so much love. It's a deeper connection. As you said, it's a connection also with God that led you to have that beautiful moment. And now it's a
Absolutely.
legacy. It's something that I always inspired by you. You always take on projects and visually you see it and it just moves you. And it's not you moving it, it moves you because you put so much vision, creation, and love towards it. And I love that. I love it's so it's it's so much it's so hard to find people passionate as much
Yeah.
anymore.
Passionate.
And I'm
It,
glad that
absolutely.
you're so passionate about it.
So
And
passionate.
it's not just for one person to see, it's the world needs to see you. Because that energy that you bring out to the table, it's something so pure. It's a light and it's connected with so much spirituality, with so much kindness. And that is something you and I know you did a lot of projects.
I
I would
did.
love to hear about your designer
Yes, I would love
school
to tell you guys
project.
about some of my projects I've worked on.
Please share your passions in that area as well,
Sh-
please.
sh-
Thank you.
sh- Sure. So my biggest project to this date is my film, which will be streaming in 2025. I um, directed a film, co-directed a film. I had this vision. I was actually okay. I'm going to share a story with you guys. So last year December, I lost one of my best friends. He was like a super motivator to me. Like anything that I said that I wanted to do, he made it seem like are you like second guessing yourself, like, because you could do it. So any he would just put like this battery in my back that I could do anything that I wanted to do.
Absolutely.
So a couple of years ago, before he had passed away, pre-COVID, I remember I was visiting Atlanta and he had family in Atlanta. His name is Jameer Tyson. He had family in Atlanta, and I was visiting Atlanta at the time, and he was in Atlanta at the time, and was like, "Okay, guys, look, we're gonna link up when we get out there." So at that time, I want to back up a little bit before that. So I was a studio owner for several years. I had an art studio in Collingswood, New Jersey, where I just hosted a bunch of different art incubators, artist workshops. I also rented the space out to other artists to use to advance their careers or their art. So I was doing that for several years before I actually had got into videography and photography and filmmaking.
Hmm.
And I wanted to bring that up because before I had became a filmmaker, I was a super advocate for art and the artist. So, like myself, like Rose said, I'm super passionate. So I would see other people who had these gifts in them, and I would get super passionate about their gifts too.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew that I should be someone who advocates for other people because I feel like I know how to facilitate things really well,
Hmm.
whether it's a plan, whether it's a project,
Hmm.
and that has been one of my strengths, being able to facilitate. So using that strength and that skill, I wanted to merge that into the arts. And since I was so passionate about other people, I studied different things in art that was related to business that could help the artist. So, first and foremost, I went to school for fashion marketing and merchandising because that was like one of my first ways that I could express myself or ways that I could get noticed in the room. I would just walk in the room with this fashion and people would be like who is that? So I went to school to study that and kind of master that, but like I took the business side of it.
Hmm.
So like I said, I took marketing and management. And after that, after I graduated from that, I had my first artist who I was managing,
Hmm.
who was a fashion designer. So that was my first time having the experience being able to help someone advance their skills or be someone from the outside looking in to say, hey, look, these are some strategies that could help you, further what it is that you're doing, what you're passionate about. So I was doing that for several years. And then I realized that I physically needed tangible art,
Hmm.
like something that was my own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something that um I could refer people to, because having the studio was my biggest piece of art at the time. But when I would visit California or I would visit Las Vegas and I would talk about um my art or my studio, I would meet people, but they wouldn't get to experience that.
Mm,
So one of the things that I wanted to do was create experiences, and I wanted people to experience how I felt, um, things I've been going through, or things that my friends been going through, and just be able to take something, learn something from that. So I realized after having a studio for 7 years that I needed some tangible art.
mm,
So I picked up my camera. So I got into the production side while managing. I got into the production side, which was filming and shooting pictures and things like that. That's something I became really passionate about, just to be able to have a vision where I didn't have to say anything about it. I could just show you something and it's like it'll speak for itself.
yeah.
So, several years after having my studio, I started practicing photography, videography, and I got better at that. And I never promoted myself as a videographer or a photographer. A lot of people would just like the visuals that I put out for myself, and they would ask
Yeah.
me
Mm-hmm.
to do it for them. So that's how I kind of fell into becoming like this videographer, photographer. Now, fast forward to me becoming a filmmaker and me in Atlanta with my best friend. So I'm practicing my photography and videography over the years, and I go to Atlanta with my best friend, and I end up on my first movie set.
Mm,
And the DP, the director of photography, he had a camera that was very similar to mine. It was like I had like a Sony camera, Sony Alpha 6300, and he had like the Sony A7 III.
mm,
So
Mhm.
I know he was running into a little trouble and he needed a battery. So I offered him my battery, but then I realized he didn't have the same camera as me. That made me inspired to upgrade my camera. So after being on that set with my best friend, I also had like a small feature in this film. It was faceless. I was just like opening up the door. Um, I was inspired to write my own film after that. So I told my best friend, like, hey, I'm thinking about doing my own film. And he's like, you're damn right, you gonna do your own film. And he kept telling me, like, you gonna do your own film, you gonna do your own film.
yeah.
So one day, the idea was just in the air for me to do my own film. I think that happened about November 2019. And then we kind of went through the pandemic. At
Mm,
that time, I was also managing another artist who was a musician at the time. So going from in the pandemic, I was managing an artist. So this artist, she kind of like I did a lot of production and things for this artist, writing, songwriting for her, setting up, things to get her portfolio, and she kind of flatlined our project.
mm,
She flatlined the project after I had put a lot of work and stuff into the project. And I was super discouraged. I was super discouraged. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to write any more music for any artist. I am going to write faceless music.
mm,
And myself and my cousin, I have a cousin, his name is Rashawn, who is also Coach Rashawn. He is also he does a lot of similar things that I do in the creative world as a creative director, being able to tap into fashion, art, music. We were writing a song together, and I'm like, telling him how discouraged I am. And I'm like, I just want to write faceless music. And we write this song, and it sounds like a movie.
mm,
And then that idea came back to me. I'm
yeah.
like, you know what? This sounds like a movie. This really sounds like a movie. This sounds like it could be on the soundtrack of a movie.
Mm,
So we finished the song, and then from there, it just sparked this big drive for me to do this movie. So
mm,
I'm like, okay, I know I can. I know I can do a lot of things, but I know I cannot do this by myself.
right.
So I called on a friend of mine, who I had worked with, who was one of those people who had saw what I was doing and was like, hey, I want to work with you. I want to work with you. Like, so she hired me previously for pre-pandemic for a project called Real Girls from the City. It was like a reality show. It was
Mm,
like a reality web series. And she flew me out to Miami along with 10 girls to film her and her friends going through this sisterhood shit that they were going through this sisterhood shit
Mhm.
and kind of going through this healing process and talking a lot of things out. So after that project, me and my partner, who is now my partner, we got really close, and we had grew a bond, and she trusted my ideas, and I trusted her leadership, which is really important for me. Like, being able to be led by someone who has a clear vision and a lot of transparency.
Yeah.
So I thought of her in the midst of me doing this song because I thought she would be the perfect person to help me with this project. And just the type of person I am, I'm not a big hierarchy person. Like, I don't like really being, I have a natural leadership with me, but I don't like being the boss all the time.
Mhm.
So I wanted to offer her also a position to do exactly what I do because I needed her to put in exactly as much into this project as I was putting into this project. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna be the director of this film, but I want you to be the co-director of this film. So we're gonna co-direct this film together. So we was like, she was super excited about it, and she's like, of course, like, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I love your work. This is the perfect opportunity. Now, a little backstory on my filmmaker, my filmmaker partner. Her name is Amira Bolak. She is a amazing storyteller and writer, and just the advocate and philanthropist, and she's just an amazing person in general, amazing spirit. So anything that I've ever done with her, it's like a magical experience, like a ethereal experience. Like, so working with her, I knew that working with her and bringing her onto the project, that the project would be something that was that meant something
Mhm.
and that would have a message. So, we both had different skills. My skill was I was the camera person. She was more of the storyteller, even though I am also a storyteller. She actually went to school for it. She's a master at it. She got her master's degree in it, so she's a master at it. So I trust her in
Mhm.
her expertise, right? That's what partnership is. You can't, like I said, you can't do everything. So me being on the production side and her being on the um more on the storytelling side, coming together and bridging together was amazing. We created a a directing partnership. We call ourselves Sweet Heat.
Mhm.
So that's what we go by, Sweet Heat. I have a natural boldness, whereas though she's kind of more a little softer,
Mhm.
but we are both Sweet Heat because she's actually the person who fires people. I don't fire anybody.
Yeah.
I don't fire anybody. You know what I'm saying? She's the one who's able to have those hard conversations.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Especially, like I said, she's just super transparent. So, like I said, that was an amazing partnership that we started. So, we decided, once the idea was like, okay, this is the thing, we're going to do this, we're going to do this film. And I had my partner, we decided to fly to California to kind of draw some inspiration for this film.
Mhm.
So we took a flight to California, along with my cousin, who's also a songwriter and creative director, Rashawn. All three of us took a trip to California to kind of just um, get inspired for this film. When we got there, we kind of started storyboarding. We came up with our character names. We kind of came up with what the story was going to be about. Now, I had received some discernment from the universe about what the story was about. I was watching a sermon online, and that particular sermon was about forfeiting your purpose.
Mhm.
And that set on my spirit because I know a lot of people who may have been through some hard times, traumatic experiences, and been through, childhood trauma and a lot of things that they were not able to control. But as they got older, they are able to control some of those things. And what they can control is healing and pushing through that,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to create something that inspires the people to, not forfeit your purpose because of the things that you can't control.
Right.
So that's kind of how we came up with the message of the film.
Mm-hmm.
The film is called Picture Boy, and it's about a photographer, a black photographer who, like I said, was born into some adversity. He didn't actually have parents who was there for him, and he was raised by some family members who kind of had ulterior motives and were very selfish, even though he was a very selfless person. We see our main character go through a lot of these trials, and we see him get through that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the main message
Of
of the
course.
movie is, going through things and getting through it
Yeah.
so that you can experience exactly what is for you.
Mm-hmm.
And for me in particular, that's art.
Yeah.
So using art as my
What a
outlet to
message.
get through everything I've been through has really been a contribution to my success.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to just continue to inspire people to just, you know, um, get through it,
Yeah.
get through it, what it is that they're going through. So yes, that's the biggest piece of art to date that I've created.
That you, yeah.
Independent film, Picture Boy, dropping 2025. Thank you.
2025.
Yes, thank you to Rose. Rose was one of 600 people who came to my premiere. I had a premiere in Cherry Hill, New Jersey at the AMC Theater, and we sold out two theaters
There you
where
go.
we gave a first look of the film.
Mm.
So now the actual entire film has no one has ever seen the entire film yet but me, the
I am
director. Not
super
even my co-director
excited.
has
Super
seen it.
excited.
Nah, that's
I'm the
awesome.
only one who has seen the entire film because not only was I the director, I also was the editor of the whole film.
Yeah.
So that I really needed to be the editor of the film because I wasn't able to shoot the film.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a big project and just beyond my expertise. But the editing part, that's me. So I was
Mm.
able to just take the film, sit with the film, and really take the vision and just make it, like I said, tangible. And that's the most important thing for me as an artist, is taking the ideas out of my head and making them tangible. And that's
Mm.
what I really want to inspire other people to do as well when it comes to anything. It could be art, it could be entrepreneurship, it could be family goal oriented. You can do anything that you want to do if you just somehow figure out how to get the idea out of your head and break it down into steps to make it a tangible thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, I agree, and that is inspiring in the sense because like like for the most part I've always been in IT, but recently I started getting into filming and wanting to do films, and I've done like a few shorts, and I'm still trying to find my niche in that.
Mhm.
But I appreciate the fact that like you understand that like your film and like what you wanted to do was a lot for one person, and I applaud you for being able to find someone that your co-director, that you guys have a nice split. Like there's some stuff that
Yeah.
she's more comfortable doing, and then there's more stuff that you're comfortable doing, but you guys have this balance that you
Yeah.
guys work each other out,
Yes. I
um
love working with her.
Yeah.
She's amazing. Her spirit is
Definitely.
amazing.
Yeah.
yeah. And then
Definitely, I see when you have your idea and you put it out there, the universe is helping you to find the pieces to it. It's
yeah,
very important. I love your story that you're saying the key ingredient is the people that were around you,
yeah,
that
absolutely.
supported you, that guided you, and it's all come with your spiritual light that you created before. And I love that you pushed yourself through to the mental challenges. I think we both on the same area. We do push, we do go through because this is not the end. This is just the beginning of our beautiful journey that we're creating. And I love that we can create ourselves our own journey, and no one's stopping you but you.
Yeah,
And you always took that vision and put it out there. You knew it will work because you trusted yourself. You trusted higher modes. You trusted people around you. And that's the key right there. Just having people that actually can tell you, here, you could do it.
Yes.
And the best part, when you get started with yourself, the best support you have, number one system you have, it's you.
Mm.
And not a
It
lot
Absolutely.
of
starts within,
people
yeah.
nowadays can actually trust themselves. And I want to encourage people to trust yourself, put it out there like dear Starla did. Her message is incredible, and I am super grateful that I was personally invited to see the premiere, to glimpse of the movie.
Yeah,
And I
Yes.
yeah.
cannot wait. I cannot wait to
Yes.
see the
I'm so
movie.
excited. I had to leave everyone with a
Ah,
cliffhanger, but that was just, I didn't want to spoil it. I knew it had more work, but
yeah,
I really
The-
was just super grateful for
it's so
everyone who had
great.
poured
And
into me at that time. I was super excited and I just wanted them to see and be a part of it. Like I said, I'm an experienced person. So even though it was just a first look, I'm
yeah,
excited for it to drop this year and everyone to get just to get to see it, see all the amazing artists that was featured in there,
yes.
and even just using brands from our community and just highlighting um community really, and
yeah,
art
I
and
love that.
love. It was really like a family. I grew from a team of one person, two people, to a team of 30 people, and that's the
Wow.
most I've ever managed in my life. And it was definitely a challenge for me, but I'm super grateful because now I could manage 31 people for
yeah, yeah,
sure. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So that was super amazing. Like
It's
super
a
That's
amazing, super excited.
amazing.
it.
Everything you touch, it's so magical. So sorry about that.
No, no, yeah.
So magical everything you do. And I had a chance to work with her. We did an amazing shoot. I remember I'm like, let's meet somewhere. We met in Atlanta and we did an amazing five
Atlanta.
hour
Atlanta loves
shoot.
me.
Yes, we love Atlanta. I love Atlanta too. It's the first city I flew in from my own country a long time ago. So Atlanta always had a special heart for me.
Mm.
And we did a 5 hour shoot. Incredible work. Her vision, incorporating all that together. Everything works so magical. And it's just everything touches is so magical. And I appreciate your time.
Thank
Definitely
you.
sharing your story, your passion. We're also having a beautiful project coming up in the future as well. I am super excited about that. But we've been working on it very nicely, and we're not gonna say what it is now,
Oh yeah, no,
but we're gonna definitely. Whoop, whoop,
yeah.
we're gonna
Yes, yes,
siren
yes.
all over New York and all over Atlanta and
It's like
all over California and LA just to show what we got
it's
as
like
well.
it's like Star was saying, she went from one person to people to 30 people. So it's like, it's a growth process, right? And
It's
obviously you're doing fantastic with it,
geometry.
right? But
Thank you.
on top of that, like Rose said that she was honored to come see, like, part of it with the 600 people. But like, you always want to give them the taste instead of giving the full, like, here's everything, and that's what
Yeah.
brings people back. And
Yes.
I mean, it's if worth anything, it's inspired me to get back into like what was doing and why I wanted to get back into it. So like I agree, like the tangibleness, because that brings sensibility, right? So
Yes.
as you're working on it, like, I mean, right now everything is in my head, like everything is like written in my head, but I'm like, no, if I put it on paper, then that's what becomes real. And that's what I started doing. I started writing my things out, started writing out how I want to do things, and I'm like, all right, this is the beginning. And it's funny because I came from a past, like, a not too far ago past that everything was just kind of downhill, and then I kind of brought myself up, kind of was like, you know what, I deserve better than this, and I started thinking more positive, spreading that positivity, and now I'm at a point where it's weird because, I mean, I'm sure you can relate to, but I hit a point where like good things started happening in my life, and I'm like, am I worthy of this? Like, do I actually deserve this? And for the longest time, I was questioning it, and I was like, oh no, hell no, I actually deserve this. And I was hitting points where I'm like, okay, now I have more control of my life, I have more control of my work, more control of my things I want to do in my life and stuff. And
It's
for the longest time,
amazing.
it just took, like Rose said, the hardest battle is within me. And I'm happy to have come out of that and grow better. And then now after this, podcast, like even talking to you, it's just like, oh man, this is even more motivating. I'm like, I really want to get into
Yes.
this.
Yes,
Um,
for sure.
and and then also you're in Cherry Hill, so you're another local Jerseyan. So we could definitely talk logistics in the future or
And if you
something.
need any help,
Yeah,
I like I
absolutely.
said, I an advocate for this. I also want to throw this out there. I'm
Yes,
currently just enrolled back into school to be a law professional in the arts. So it's
nice.
going to take a while to get to where I'm going,
Oh,
but
you'll
that's what
make
I
it
want to
though.
do.
You'll make it.
You'll
I
make
want
it.
to
Don't.
help
I
artists,
already see what
filmmakers,
that thing looks like.
everyone get property, whether
Yeah.
that's make their art property, intellectual property. That's what I want to do. I want to make the art live forever and pay forever, like, you know what I'm saying? So
Listen,
yes.
the the
We
the
here
the
for the passive income.
the biggest
Mm.
thing I think above all is normally like I'll get to a point where I will say to like my guest, "Oh, I think Rose might have dropped," which is fine. She'll come back. But what I want to say to you, since I still have you, one of the biggest things I normally ask my guests is like, uh, like what's your goal for this with what you're doing, and I didn't even have to ask you that because you just know why you're doing what you're doing, and it's shown as an expression from your physicality, right? The way you act, the way you are with yourself. Right, hold on, let me bring Rose back real quick.
Mhm.
All right, welcome back, Rose.
I'm
um
still here.
the
Yeah.
way you speak, the way you think, the way you feel, it's a very loving thing that you do, and you can literally see your glow when it comes to like the stuff
Thank
that you talk
you.
about, and the fact
Thank
that
you.
you just naturally are just like, this is what I want to do, and it's not even just for me, it's for everybody. And that's like the whole point of like why me and Rose got into like Motivation Station, because like we're also very driven people. I know, like personally, I can speak for myself that I'm still on the rise, I'm still trying to get there, but like guest after guest and people after people that we meet, I'm just like, yo, this is actually fantastic. And every day I walk away more motivated. And this one kind of hit me a little bit more personal because I'm on that end where it's like I want to do more too. I want to get into acting, filming, and stuff like that. And like talking to you here, it's just like, wow, this is like it's totally doable. But like, obviously there's ways to go about it, there's ways to think about it, there's ways to kind of work with it and stuff like that. So not only do I appreciate the fact that you shared your dreams and your passions, and I'm looking forward to your film, but also the fact that you were on the rise about it, like like tangibly on the rise about it. And it's like, all right, now I have a better mindset, a better idea of like, okay, this is what I should do or get into. And
Yes.
now I have a friend, like if I need help, now I know I can
Yeah.
talk to you about anything at
Yes.
that.
Yes. So we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna link up all of your
This
information below.
this
Mm,
We
is this
need
is
you.
definitely
People
what
need you.
this is definitely what it is that this is definitely my purpose.
yes.
I feel like identifying your purpose is something that I feel like it takes time and a lot of people may struggle with.
Mm,
But I feel like purpose comes when you're actually giving back to the world.
mm,
So this particular thing with art and advocating for myself and other artists to do what it is that they love to do what it is that feels genuinely good to them is literally what God put me here to do. And I
yeah.
am going to do that with every thing in me because like I said, it feels really good to me. And I really get excited and I'm also really happy for myself and the people around me when I see them tap into that space. So
Yeah.
yes.
No, like
Yeah.
you just kind of naturally seep it out within you, which
So
is, like I said, a
iconic.
beautiful
So
thing.
iconic.
It's
Yeah, definitely iconic.
like I mean, I feel this like the same way in the sense that, like, I mean, for me it was like finding that within, and now I just feel it seeping out of me and spreading it out. Like I went from the guy walking down the street just looking down, not looking at anybody, to like whenever I'm walking I just smile at anybody I see, say hi, how are you doing, hope you're having a great day, kind of deal. And you can tell how much
Mhm.
of a difference it makes easily. And for you, Starla, you're just like spewing it out, and I could feel it from
Thank you.
from the phone to the computer. Like I appreciate that, I really do, and I think
Thank
you're an
Yeah.
you.
absolute beautiful soul.
Yeah. Definitely
Thank you.
iconic. I've seen you grow from. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you all grow from zero, and which
Mm,
is more.
Thank you.
I think it's we appreciate that more. We deserve that more. We
mm.
know the hard work that's put in behind the scenes, and that's something that you do well. And I've seen you grow from. We're not gonna say zero. We're gonna say like from 100 to 1,000, and now
Yep.
from the 1,000 you're going to 1,000,000. And I really see you succeeding because you're passionate and you're gonna be an icon, and you already are.
Just
Thank
remember,
And
you.
just remember us.
and it's
Just
just
remember
I
us when you're
wanna.
famous. That's
I'm
all
not
I gotta
Remember
say.
you
thinking.
guys. You guys are
I'm
creating the
thanking you. I'm
platform. Like,
thanking you. I'm thanking you for your vision, for your motivation. I am thanking you for being here. And I want to ask you if you want to say a couple of things for people gonna watch
Yes.
you
Any
tonight
last
and
motivating
people that are
words
already watching.
for our
Yeah, motivating
audience?
yes.
words,
So
and
first of all,
we
I
can
am
let you
going
go.
to. I'm going to drop my social media if anyone wants to follow me. So my social media, I am on Facebook as Starla King. And I'm also on Instagram as Birthday Bay, BAE. So regular like birthday Bay and BAE and then like an underscore. That's where you could find me. And I also just want to thank you guys for having me today.
Of
I
course.
really appreciate the opportunity. This is one of few times I've actually been live and
Mm.
actually I'm a kind of a private person or
Yeah.
like a person who keeps a mystique, so I really do appreciate it because this is something that I do want to do more. And I'm just super grateful for you guys to, like I said, have this platform and extend it to me. I think you guys are doing an awesome job. I want to thank you
Thank you.
for making me so comfortable and allowing me to talk about this because I don't even think those stories are even out there.
Mm.
These are the first time I'm even sharing
This is
some
a
of these
unique
There you go.
stories.
moment.
You heard it first
So
here. You know what I
thank you
mean?
guys so
Yes,
much.
No,
unique
absolutely.
moments, and
Yeah.
we're at the beginning of the unique moments, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is
No,
something means
we'll
it's like
definitely,
it comes from here, and that's what's important. It
when
comes
we get
from
a
here.
chance, we'll definitely we'll get those. I'll get those links from you on like Facebook. I didn't add it to the video yet, but you know,
Okay.
from audience, I'll add it below, and then it'll be easier to catch you. I'll definitely hit you up there too, and
Your websites and everything.
you know, I was like I told our other guests, you know, one day I do want to maybe we'll meet in person, and you know,
Yes.
I would definitely love to catch up. But Charlotte, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. It's been a
Thank you
fun experience, a
guys.
learning experience, a very motivating experience, to be honest with you. So, cheers, you know, cheers to
Cheers
everyone,
to the
Thank you,
redness and
Sanjay. Thank you,
of
cheers,
course,
Roselia.
cheers.
Thank you for having me.
and we'll catch you
Thank you,
soon. All right,
Starla.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank
all right,
you.
Strada.
Bye bye.
Talk
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you so much for your time. Have a motivated day.
Right.
Thank you.
Oh man, dude, Starla is fantastic. Like that was one of the that was probably what I needed to hear more than anything. Like today, there's things happening. There's things happening in my life that were like leading up to this. Like I kid you not, right? So you know, I had a hard beginning of the year, and then like I got a new job now. I got a new car. I got new time basically that like
Yeah,
is my own, you know, and it's just like
yeah.
I'm like, do I actually deserve this? Do I actually deserve this? And now I'm like, yeah, I do. And I started doing my writing. I started doing more. Um, I think I mentioned before, but I'm trying to get into like project management so I could do better people skills. And then like here
Yeah,
we're talking to Starla about doing some filming, and it's like, you know what, like I understand that one person doing all this is a lot, and it would be nice to have someone you can trust. And you know, she clearly has someone she trusts and is she works well with, and she's very passionate about her work, which I appreciate. And that's the version of art that I love, is that, you know, art isn't just like paintings and like craft work and stuff like that. Art is like what you give off from your soul, like stuff that you spread out, that spreads out to others, you know. Like it's like a she's very infectious, like she's very infectious. Like I feel great right now, you know. I didn't have the greatest morning, and right now I'm like, yo, this is, now I feel much better. I feel like my day just got better. The sun got brighter, you know what I mean? but
yes, yes. This
like
is definitely
she
motivation
was,
station.
yeah, no, well, yeah, that too. But like, yeah, no, I liked her. I liked her a lot, and I
Ooh,
look forward to her film. I hope I get her links and add her, and
yes.
go from there, you know.
I am so grateful that she shared. Definitely, it's the first raw content that she actually has it out there, and I'm super grateful that it's happening in our station, Motivation Station. And I know she's already an icon. Everything she touches, it's magical, and what she does is amazing. And
Mm,
also, I believe what we do here, me and you, it also has so much magic and so much creation. I was super happy to even show what I do on my spare time to heal my soul. Right now, I'm working on a very unique designer piece. It's a picnic basket. Everything is handmade. It's 3 layers. It's gonna be stuff from the clay. Uh, I'm gonna make cups and then plates out of the clay. I'm gonna make the fabric itself. I'm gonna do the a wood piece as a tray, so a blanket underneath. It's gonna be a masterpiece. It's
mm,
something that I always was passionate about, to creating my own pieces. Always wanted to wear my own clothes that I designed. It
mm,
probably comes from my father. My father was a shoemaker.
mm,
When we were going to sleep, he would at 12 a.m. He would start making like Ox version, but it's like a Tatar version. I am Tatar, so it was a very warm shoes. He was making. He was always passionate about opening up the whole factory of shoes.
mm.
Unfortunately, it not happened, but luckily he has me that I can fulfill
Continue. Yeah,
my
absolutely.
dreams, his dreams, my mom's dreams, and generational dreams.
Y-
And here we are, all about art, all about creation, tapping into your soul, knowing what you really want,
mhm.
and putting it out there. Because when you put it out there, the universe will help to fill up all the pieces.
Yeah, I mean, just as you said, like it might have been your father's dream, but the beautiful part to that as well is the journey. The journey to get there. And now he had a daughter that is like, hey, I'm gonna carry this on, which is fantastic. Because some people like they might not get to their dream and then they fall off, and it's like, look, you have to look at it more from a journey point of view. It's a growth process. Like for me, like my parents have always been giving people, and I think that's why I'm a giving person as well. And we've always been like outwardly people, right? So like we could be in a foul mood, like we can be in a bad mood or not in a good place, but we would never bring that to somebody else. And if somebody else was feeling down or bad, we would uplift them even if we're not uplifted ourselves. And I carried that through growing up. And after a while, like I felt the burnout. Like I was feeling myself getting drained. But then like my thing was just like, I have to work within, which like you said before, like we talked about before, everything kind of starts within. And when I started working within, I started feeling better. And then when I started feeling better, everybody started feeling better. you know and I mean, I have my dreams, I have my passions, I have, like, a bunch of different stuff. Will I reach it all? I'm not sure, but the whole point is that, like, I want to do it, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to get there. And I hope now I have a 2-year-old daughter who's passionate about some of the stuff I'm passionate about, and she's only 2.
That's
But, like,
amazing. Yeah, that's
I hope
amazing.
that, when I get to the end of my road, she's gonna be like, I'm gonna take over and do everything my father wanted to do, and go from there.
That is amazing. Creating something together with your family and creating that legacy, it's something that is also, it's very so fascinating. And just having that, like, through your family, and just living for that magic, instead of having that boring life, that you actually have a choice to decide to have a bright life or a boring life. What do you want to do? And you need to decide for yourself. Are you choosing yourself? Are you choosing your inner wish that you so want to do in life? Or you just choosing to suffer, be a victim, and stay in that position? No, you're not choosing that. You want to grow up. You want to be in that emotionally stable person that actually say, here, I am a unique person. There's nobody else like me in the world. And I know exactly who I am, what I'm bringing to the table, what I'm bringing to this world. And I want the world, to share that with me. And I want to share people's journey, emotions, and all that motivation as well.
Mm-hmm.
It just creates that unique bond that it's very important who's around us. And I am so happy that people like you, people like Starla, people like other people, it's just they're all bringing their uniqueness to our lives, and
Mm.
it's so amazing. And I would love to do we would love to do with Sanjay. I want to give out a couple of my creations.
Mm,
I also have charged up. I have charged up crystals, hard crystal stones, and a necklace. They also charge for health, love, and inner peace. As a last podcast we had with the beautiful Robin,
mm,
you know, I can I do have a healing abilities. I'm not gonna lie about that. I can see different dimensions, and this is what's charged with a beautiful energy. And also, this is your bucket list. You put your five favorite, your top dreams, put it in there, dream about it, and make it happen. And this is charged with health, love, and inner peace. Put your the most expensive stuff in here: keys, valuables. It could be rosary. This was made for rosary as well, which is
mm,
very important. If you don't have rosary, you could put your jewelry. That's something that this one is gonna keep abundance in your life, abundance in your house. You could put it in your altar, in your nightstand. So definitely want to give them away. And Thanksgiving coming up, holidays,
mm, mm,
and in the month of December, we want to be thankful for you tuning in. Comment below, say hello, subscribe, like, comment. We definitely want to see your feedback. And we so appreciate if every single person that tuning in take their time
mm.
to be here and have your favorite beverage with us.
Yes, no, I appreciate your crafting, and yeah, no, just like Rose said, we would love to do a giveaway for our viewers and people who come by, and I think we want to start it next week, or we're aiming to want to start it next week.
Let's start next week. It's
Okay.
Thanksgiving coming up, and
Mm,
we want to be thankful. Also, don't forget, this has so much magic that it's just something that you need it. And comment below and see who's gonna win the
yeah, of
giveaway. It's
course. Yeah,
amazing.
no, we'll do one for every podcast for the month of December. And yeah, that's gonna be that sounds just fun. I'm looking forward to that too.
Yes, thank you so much, guys.
But
And
Rose, it's been another
pleasure.
fantastic podcast. I mean, I love this. I really do. I like. I think for me more than anything, and the way we do our guesting is that like one of us will bring a guest in, and the other person doesn't really know the guest, and I love to learn about the guest. So, like meeting Starla for the first time, like I feel like I'm walking away motivated. You know, if more than, and then that's why I told her, if more than anything, just I want Starla to know that at least just from this what hour that we've been here, that she already has one big fan and one big motivated person. You know what I mean? And then when other people watch it, I'm sure they'll want to follow her, see her film, follow her on Insta, Facebook, stuff like that. So I love the fact that we can open these doors and avenues for these guests, and not only just for the guests, but for the audience and for ourselves. I think that's just fantastic.
That is so amazing, definitely. And I definitely want to share one of my biggest passions. I have so many passions. One of my biggest passions next week. We have a unique story, and I'm glad that we can bring in London. We
Mm,
can bring in Africa
mm,
to our next podcast. I wanted to make it more that there's people out there, there's people everywhere, and every people has a story to share. I love missionary people. I am a missionary myself.
mm.
Why not help others, right?
Of
And this
course.
is something that's coming up next week. It's an amazing guest.
Nice set. I look forward to it.
Every story is motivating, and I'm glad where we're going.
Mm,
I am super happy with how it's happening.
mm.
We every week we work on something, and if you have any feedback, obviously crazy backgrounds
Uh,
and having
listen,
no microphone. I just do have a tripod. I
listen.
had a new tripod for
I
this
am
time.
I am proud that
Working on,
we fixed the
I'm
audio
just
issue.
working on everything can be
Li-
workable.
Listen,
So
as Sarla said, the tangible stuff, right? So we finally fixed
yeah,
our audio issue. It took 5 episodes, but here we are. And
here
it's
we are.
it's like you said, everything is just uphill from here. We're reaching the peak, and then the beautiful part is we reach the peak, and then we're like, what's the next peak we can go to, and then the next peak and stuff like that. So it's an
Yeah.
ever growing experience between
Yes,
me, you, the audience, our guests, the podcast,
I am
everything.
looking forward to 2025.
Mm,
It's something that's gonna bring us. This is just a humble beginnings, and I
mm,
appreciate those words. And I want to remind myself that it's just humble all the way down.
Mm,
It's not humble only in the beginning. And it's something that I'm glad that we're pouring our souls, not our ego.
mm,
And I'm glad that our ego is not growing. Yes, there's our personalities and charm and characteristics that, sometimes we get angry, sometimes we get crazy, sometimes we get really motivated and
mhm,
happy. It's totally fine to leave our emotions the way we are. We're healing,
mm.
and definitely this podcast motivated me to say that whatever you're doing, just keep doing because art is definitely something that can heal you through. And I'm happy that everyone who's going to tune in and join us later, even in 2025 or even 2030,
Mm.
looking at our humble beginnings, it's just something that I want to say this is how I am today, and we'll see what happens in 5, 10 years. And I'm
Yeah,
super excited for a future to come.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree.
And this is something I'm totally passionate about, and I hope you as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, like I mean, like our brief discussion of starting the podcast was great, and then like look at where we are now, you know, and like I know, we're still in the learning process of not just like doing the podcast, but of each other. Like we've known each other for a while, but like I'm still learning more about you. You're still learning more about me, and I think that that part of the growth is part of the experience. You know, like I know you're walking away from this with positivity, just like I am. And our paths and lives might be different, but we're all just striving for the same goal. You know, and I honestly think it's a beautiful thing. I'm very appreciative that we made the decision, like, hey, let's do this. And I remember like talking about at the beginning, like, not that was rough or anything. We're just trying to balance out, like, hey, how should we do this? How should we do that? And look at where we are now. Look at where we are now. And then we got places to go. We're moving nowhere but up.
Yes,
Right?
just to make you wear a yellow shirt, that's already making me like, oh my God, yes,
Yeah,
Sunday, yes,
listen,
Sunday.
you should
Let's
have
just,
told me you're wearing
yes.
red because like I saw what like when I
I
look at
did not plan red, okay? I
when
just
I
planned this a 90 dreamer. I have this probably backwards. It says dreamer
mm,
and coins and then '09, but I wanted to be like 90 because we're a 90s girl. I'm the
mm,
90s girl, and a
mm,
dear Starla is a 90s girl. I
mm,
wanted to wear something red and the dreamer and coins. So the outfit, I was getting my hair ready for 2 days. So I really like relate my looks to audience, to the guest that we're going to have because it's something that we can read. It's something that makes it comfortable.
mm.
And I did not know she's gonna wear red. She definitely looks fabulous
Yeah, no,
at the
she looked
Magic
amazing. Yeah.
Fashion. And I appreciate that. And and I love that about her. And I made a decision a couple weeks ago with taking my therapeutic courses that I want to look great every day. I
Mm,
want to wear outfits and have my looks every day, not just on holidays, not just on weekends. I want to look good every day.
mm.
And she's the one of the inspirations that you can see her just to look at the fashion vest every day
Yeah.
for
I mean,
yourself.
outside of the fact that you're gorgeous anyway, right? But no, I get where
Thank you.
I get where you're coming from, and
And
that
I'm glad you're wearing yellow,
yeah,
so
no, no.
it's
Listen, I'll
colorful. It's
definitely be
beautiful.
like I actually hit the point that
Intellect.
I'm trying to be a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for
Open up.
um more like I want to look better too in a sense because that does open up a door of
Okay.
confidence, and I remember like the few
Yeah.
times I did like dress up and go out and stuff because you've seen me, I'm bummy, like I'm normally in sweatpants and so whatever, but like the times that I've gone out and dressed up, people are like, oh damn, like this guy's like
Yes.
exuberating like
Self love.
confidence. Yeah. So I mean,
Self love
I'm
starts
definitely
with you.
like everything is just like lining up, Like I went from a point that like I didn't really care about myself and stuff like that to the point that like what, like I'm good. Like I could do this, I could do that, and we'll get there. Watch one day you see me and you're like, damn, like this dude is like on fleek. I don't know what the kids say now, but
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
um,
It's chicness.
the chicness,
Chic.
yeah. But nah, no, and I
Yeah. The
appreciate you just saying like.
classy, the self love, the confidence,
But even
everything.
like
It starts with you.
the brief you're just like, hey, just wear something yellow tomorrow. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll do that. And like next time, like I will dress up a little bit more, And I definitely want to have like like yourself, like a cleaner background, which I'll eventually get to. But like it's just it all makes sense. Like it's all like just motivation. It's actually motivation, right? And it's I don't know. I think it's one of the best things that you can possibly do for people. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I definitely want to say create more, do what you love,
Yeah.
do what you can, and don't criticize yourself. And no one's perfect. You know, Malevich had a black quadrant and he became famous. So you
Mm,
never know what's gonna shoot and make you the star.
mm.
So just create. Don't criticize yourself. Love everything you do, and it's
Did
gonna
something fall?
happen for you.
Did something fall off?
Um,
Just a little piece.
I actually, it's actually did, and I don't know how and why. Oh, I see it, but it's
Um,
okay. It never happened before, so
yeah.
it's all fixable.
No, you're good. And to the
It's
audience,
a good sign.
if you're
Yes.
interested in on being on the podcast, if you want to talk, share your stories, please feel free to shoot us an email or message us on YouTube, or even us on Facebook. Or me, me on Facebook, and like we would love to have you. We'd love to hear the story. We'd
Yes.
love to
We
motivate
have a
you or
beautiful.
be motivated by you. It
Yes.
normally goes both ways. But Rose, this has been another fantastic day, right? It's a little chilly out, but it's been a
A
great
little chilly,
podcast.
but we got the beautiful out
But
beverage with us.
we did it. But listen, thank you again.
Cheers again.
Cheers to you, good buddy. All right. And I look forward to next week's podcast. And I know Thanksgiving is in
Definitely.
between. So, everyone,
We'll
please
have
have a
cheers again.
safe and healthy and happy and fun Thanksgiving. Make sure you eat till you're full and you basically just kind of go into the food coma. Listen, it's Thanksgiving. Do what you need to do. But I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys have a motivated day. All right.
Happy motivated day, guys. See
All
you
right,
next
guys.
week.
Take care.
Bye bye.